This week's episode is brought to you by NYXI and their Hyperion Pro Joy-Cons for Nintendo Switch. The Hyperion Pro is the best Joy-Con replacement we've tested to date. They look fantastic, they feel better than stock Joy-Cons, and the Hall effect sticks ensure longevity of them will outlast Nintendo's offering, as well as other third-party brands that still suffer with the dreaded drift issues. The super comfortable and ergonomic grip allow for easy long-time gaming. The programmable RGB lights mean you can customize the controller to your particular taste, and the gamer's reflex macro buttons are available to give you an edge. Plus, the GameCube-inspired purple option and the green Legend of Zelda-inspired variant really make the controller stand out. All this, and using promo code PVP, you can get 10% off. Head over to NYXIGame.com or use the link in the description. Hello, welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 293. I'm one of your hosts, Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who gets annoyed when I call it drinky poos instead of diarrhea.
Wow.
Dirty bloody Dan. How about wishy-washy?
Hello, everybody.
It looked like the end of like an old CBBC program where everyone's just waving with the puppets and stuff.
Bye. See you tomorrow morning.
How the diddly are you? Mm-hmm. Interesting. I like the cut of your jibe, young man.
I've set a word counter for this podcast, so I'm not going to say more.
Oh, so I don't know if that means he's already hit the counter timer, or we're just going to wait it out a little bit. So while you're coming to terms with the limitations of your vocal ability for this episode, I'm going to jump in with the news, Dan. Are you familiar? You can tap once for yes and twice for no.
Like once for yes, twice for no.
Well, I was trying to think of something audible for the audio listeners.
Oh yeah.
But Like a Dragon, Yakuza, the hit Sega video game that nobody understands. I think I've played all of them.
I was going to say, I'm sure that you told me that you played a bunch, because they keep on coming up, and I'm just like, I don't know if these are the same ones, if they're remasters, if they're sequels, if it's a spin-off. I have no idea.
A lot of the ones on Game Pass are remasters.
Sure.
Remasters. But I don't follow any of them. I couldn't tell you. I know Zero is the one with the baby that Funhouse played.
What?
You're carrying a baby around for the whole fucking game. You have to fight people and then keep hold of it and stuff. So imagining, it's a clip, and I only know this because of Corridor Crew, but there's a Fast and the Furious film where Jason Statham does a similar thing on a plane, and he's got to fight this person while he's holding his fucking baby. It's basically that. But yeah, that's it. That's the movie. Anyway, coming to Prime Video, October 24th, Like a Dragon Yakuza is another game to TV show franchise, Dan.
Please tell me it's not live action.
It is live action. And as somebody that has played the games but still doesn't understand what the fuck's going on in them, it doesn't look like they've gone for all the flamboyant nature of the games.
Well, see, that's interesting you say that, because what I was just about to say is that the only thing I know about it is that it's kind of, to a degree, for my very minimal understanding and exposure to it, it's kind of wacky. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of over the topness to it.
Especially like a dragon. That's very there's a fight, there's a fucking tiger, and it's got a lot more zany stuff to it. Whereas the Yakuza games, which is they're all in the same world, but it started off as Yakuza and it's kind of got a bit more crazy. The Yakuza ones was a bit more realistic, but still with the traditional it's a fight, punch this fucking, and then you'll get fire fists and everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a dragon is a lot more Saints Row in that aspect.
And that's the one they're basing this on.
Well, from the trailer, it looks like they're taking bits of Like a Dragon, bits of Zero, bits of this, and just making their own story up, which I'm fine with. And it looks really good, like the costumes and everything. Not costumes, but the suits and everything. It looks like if this wasn't a Yakuza game, you'd go, he looks like the guy from Yakuza.
If you didn't see the YouTube header
and
you didn't click on it specifically to watch it, after watching it, how long would it take before you clicked as to what this was?
Just based on the suits, that would have been the first thing I thought of. I wouldn't have gone, is this like a dragon? But I would have gone, that looks very, very familiar. And then it's only when they start saying the names and when they're talking, and then there is actually a couple of lines straight from one of the games. And I'm like, pretty sure this is like a dragon. But again, that's also with the knowledge of knowing that. So potentially, I might not have picked up on some of the lines if I didn't already know until the end when it comes up. But as far as TV shows go, looks pretty good.
I mean, Amazon, they did Fallout, which obviously was very good. I don't know if they're just still sort of hitting the ground running, just sort of like, got a good bunch of good publicity off this. I don't know. Obviously, that would have been in production for a year or so, presumably. Yeah. But I'm a bit disappointed because I'm just sort of like, oh well, I don't. That's not anyone's fault. It's just that it's off the back of Fallout.
Yeah.
I'd be expecting something to be quite good, and it's a series that I have absolutely no idea about. Now, that's not to say that I won't watch it or that I won't be able to get into it. But if it's very sort of like, if you were watching Fallout, you could enjoy it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't enjoy it the same way that I enjoy it.
But that's true with the games as well, though, isn't it? Like, everyone enjoys it for different reasons.
Yeah, but
I don't think is the same. Because
they'll be more tied into, kind of like extended lore and Easter eggs and sort of like specific things that have happened. And obviously I won't get any of that, but if it's made well and it's a funny, or not funny, but if it's, like an interesting kind of crime drama sort of thing with a bit of fire fists and the odd tiger, cool, I can get into that. Because it's either going to be wacky enough for me to go, yeah, this is a bit silly, isn't it? Or not wacky enough, and I'm not going to care if it's still interesting. But I'm not going to get annoyed because I'm like, oh,
they didn't do this bit.
I know these inside and out. This is nothing like it. How terrible.
Yeah.
So
I do think they've done it was one of the things we lauded the Fallout TV show for, was by going, it's its own story. And it looks like that's a very similar thing to this, where they're just taking bits that players might recognise or players might like and then making their own story. This is completely based off the trailer. I could be massively out, and it is, in fact, from start to finish, a story from the games. But it looks good enough that, not necessarily you, but I think people might watch it, and if it is good, then go, I'm going to give the games a go because I've never played them before.
I don't know. I mean, like I say, they've all been on Game Pass for a while. I've been aware of them for a very long time, but I've just never had the want or drive to have a crack at them. Because again, Game Pass is exactly that. You just go, I'll take a punt on it.
Yeah.
And then I've had the opportunity, never bothered.
I
can't imagine this is going to be the one that pushes me into it.
I only ever played them because of Shenmue, and the very different games. But I was like, this is going to be the next best thing to do, Shenmue. And again, they're fine, but it's for all of like the JRPG stuff you don't like. Not quite like that. I'd say closer to like Devil May Cry in terms of like ridiculous combos and whatnot. And there's a lot of that. But they're good games though.
I do not like that.
But in a no, I can't say realistic. The combat's a lot better in my eyes, and it is more of like a brawl kind of thing. And if Jean-Claude Van Damme was a video game character and he's taken out an entire warehouse of people with just his fists, that's what the game is. Have you not seen Street Fighter the movie? I have, unfortunately. But yeah, that's going to be out in a few weeks, Dan. October 24th.
You'll have to remind me to actually have a look at that. Or no, I'll tell you what. Watch it first and let me know if it's actually worth it.
Yeah, if it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
More news hot on the heels of Nintendo's lawsuit for patent infringement. Palworld has been announced for PlayStation 5. And
nothing's going to stop that train.
And now a mobile version of the popular game is in the works, with player-unknown battleground company Krafton working out a license deal with Pocket Pair to bring the game to phones. So Nintendo have gone, we're taking you to court for some mystery patent infringement. And they've gone, cool. It's coming out on PS5 now, and you'll be able to play it on your Android phone and your iOS
saturate
phone.
the market even more. Good luck.
And apparently, this is just the latest extension of Palworld. Pocket Bear doesn't plan to stop there. The company partnered with Sony to create a venture called Palworld Entertainment that will handle additional licensing opportunities, including merchandise.
What? There's no stopping them. Alive.
Now, I don't know if this was like, this is just the kind of people that they're dealing with, or Nintendo would get sending all these letters. They're just going, la, la, la.
I genuinely think that this was because it was just like, it was an interesting kind of concept. It was like, it's just like kind of like Pokemon with guns, which is in essence what it is, like crafting in guns. And I genuinely think that they didn't think it would be that big of a deal. Probably or that not. Big of a threat.
Yeah.
And then it's like had like the highest amount of players ever on Steam or whatever it was.
It beat Concord.
Maybe they just didn't think that like the Western market it would be that big of a deal. It would be that big of a threat. Again, people who know like you can tell the difference. Like you know that they're not the same. They're not based in the same veins at all. So I don't think it would cover the kind of copyright infringement side of like you basically try to copy what we do and just tweaks a few like
but
visual
it's
elements.
also different enough though, where it's not like a straight like Temtem is a complete Pokemon ripoff, and that's going quite strong on Steam, and it has been for the last few years, but it's never got to the heights that Palworld's got to, or Pokemon. But this, we had a brief conversation about it the other day, but the wording for the patent infringement makes it seem like it's more of a gameplay mechanic rather than the actual monster designs, because I don't think you can copyright the design.
Well, I think that you could probably copyright elements of it. So, you know, a dog thing that's covered in fire that looks exactly like this. Well, no, it's too close to ours. But you got a goat that's covered in fire that looks very similar. Well, it's not a dog, is it? So that's probably different enough to kind of get you around it. But as for the mechanics of it, I don't know what you could say that's definitively us, and you can't copy that. Like, all the climbing, there's no climbing in Pokemon, really. Pokeball throwing, I guess, but you go, well, I throw a grenade in a first-person shooter, and that's basically the same kind of action.
You can catch people.
Yeah, can't do that in Pokemon. There's all the weaponry, obviously, base building, crafting, or none of that's in any Pokemon at all. The breeding.
Breeding's in Pokemon.
Is it?
Yeah. Not different, like, you just put them in like a daycare thing.
Oh, yeah, no, I know the daycare was in the original. Like,
yeah, but that's what I mean. But
yeah, but not you put them in, you have to make a fuck pad for them to get in, and you mix them up and try and breed certain ones, and you can pump them all into a big blender and extract all the essence to power one. Like, there's not enough similarity for this to have any kind of strength, I don't feel.
The closest similarity is you're a kid, but even that, it seems like you're an older kid than, well, the player at least, who has monster friends that you use in battles and whatnot. You also don't have to use them. You've got weapons yourself.
You could just go around and just stab everyone if you want to. But I reckon if you'd have more likelihood of this going anywhere if you got all the Nintendo, like all the Pokemon lawyers, all the Zelda lawyers, and like all the sort of like Rust lawyers, and got them all teamed up and went, well, they're copying this element from ours and this element from ours. But even then, I think that it would be the same as like you make a movie or write a movie that's very similar to another movie, and then trying to sue like the original creator, saying, well, you just copied mine. Yeah. There's enough to say, well, you can't just copyright an idea or like a vibe.
No.
Like how a certain flow of entertainment works. Because it just seems like that's something that would be, you're trying to creatively or control creativity, basically. Like a lot of shit is copied in Hollywood and TV shows.
Oh, 100%.
And trying to say you cannot legally do that just seems like it would stop a lot of production in Hollywood. Yeah. Like, you can only ever make original ideas, and you have one idea and then that's it. You have to have a new idea that's not anything to do with anybody else. Like Tim Burton would have been out of work 40 years ago.
To be fair,
like, no,
so would Illumination.
This is too similar to the first film that you did. It's like, well, they're all going to be like that. Well, you're not making them then.
Yeah. I think it is this kind of a lot of the copying nature, particularly in video games, is kind of it's just like an unwritten rule. You don't do it. So Sega can't have. They did the opposite. They had Nintendo had a little fat Italian plumber. So Sega did. He's really fast. He's a hedgehog. It was like very different things. But if they'd have come out and gone, it's Maurice the gas man. And like it's too similar, and I think there's just that unwritten rule that you don't do it, and there's equally that unwritten rule that where you can't take us to court for doing it, because even the Pokeball thing, there's a lot of games that have that same mechanic where you throw a spherical object to catch something, or in the case of like Digimon and stuff, you throw a card and you catch them. It's the same thing though. You're still catching a creature with it, but it's slightly different enough that it's not quite the same,
but it's not like turn-based combat. You don't. I mean, there's XP in the same way that
every game
companion character would have XP and leveling up and that kind of stuff. It feels more like, again, it feels like if it's something they actually had a legitimate grievance about, they would have done it years ago. They would have done it before it was released. As soon as they sort of started seeing those trailers, or again. I'd still be reasonably convinced that they would have contacted Nintendo or Game Freak or whoever and said, this is what we're doing. We know that there's probably some similarities. It's because we love the game, but we want to make a different version of the kind of the sort of the groundwork of what you've done. So it is still sort of, you are capturing wild creatures and you can use them as companions, but that's pretty much where the similarities stop.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have any concerns before we spend however many tens or hundreds of thousands kind of in man hours and whatever developing this. If you've got any issues with it, tell us now.
Yeah, before it gets further.
Why wouldn't they have done that? Because the first thing that you'd see that any Kotaku article or whatever would be like, it's Pokemon with guns.
Yeah.
So why would you not address that first? And if they came back and said, no, from what you've described, it's different enough that there couldn't be, because that's what like copyright infringement. I know that they're probably not the same thing, but like copyright infringement for like videos and content and stuff like that is that as long as you can use the same material that somebody else has used, as long as it's not it's not displayed in the same way, or it's not shown in the same manner or something like that.
Yeah.
So we could use someone else's content if we were doing something with that content. So it wasn't us just going, we've made this.
Yeah.
That's copyright infringement because, no, you haven't. Somebody else has.
Well, that's how we get around a lot of when we do a trailer chat video, that's why the actual video isn't the full screen. It's a much smaller window because that isn't how the original trailer was released.
Or potentially out of order or something like that. Yeah.
There's ways around it. And obviously, like, if they just showed you a Pikachu and then every now and again it turned into something else. Okay, so it's not the same. He's only got one ear or whatever.
Yeah, but if you just use the Pikachu design and then just made him blue and red, you just say, well, that's different. It's not. If it's still, it's called a Squeakachu. It's still okay. Well, you're trying to. It's like when there's like there's a big cool film and then there's like a really shit film and it's about the exact same thing that's released like 3 months later. Like, that's what this would feel like. Like, because you can go, well, clearly that's just, it's, they released Sharknado 12, and then you've done Tortoisenado 1, and it's basically the same thing.
It's the same premise,
yeah, people are getting chased by tortoises or whatever. God, that'd be a slow movie.
It'd be about 17 hours long.
But you couldn't take them to court and just be like, well, we had this shit idea first, actually.
Yeah.
It seems like the same sort. It's like, yeah, it's different enough, but yeah, of course, you all sort of fill into the same sort of like schlock horror category of horror, but
I think you hit it on the head more so in the beginning where this is them not thinking it was going to get, like on both pies, didn't think it was going to get that big, and Nintendo and the Pokemon company sat there going, nobody's going to turn against Pokemon, and then everyone fucking loves it, and they're like, fuck.
But this is the thing. The argument is, oh my god, this is way better than Pokemon.
Improve
no one
it.
would have that comparison. But because, like, I'm not saying, I'm never going to play a Pokemon game now. This is the one for me. I'll be like, well, I still want to play Pokemon games because I like Pokemon games because they're very good at making Pokemon games. But this isn't that.
Yeah.
I want something, I want to build another base. I want to, kind of level up all my pals. I want to finally unlock that rocket launcher or whatever it is, and get the saddles and all that kind of stuff. If anything, if I was the Game Freak or whoever it is that's making Pokemon games anymore, there'd be a few things from this I'd be taking hits off and be like, like a crafting bench where you can make Pokemon specific equipment that helps them or gives you an additional attack in battle or whatever. Yeah. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Well, even stealing from your own.
You could say from the Palworld guys, they could be like, that's our idea.
Actually,
but we respect
I think you'll find.
So, have at it. We've kind of used borrowed ideas or whatever, or, things from you guys. It's reciprocal.
Do you think we'll get the Palworld animation? No.
There won't be a Palworld Go. There won't be.
I bet there
Let's
is.
Go Palworld. No, I don't think there'll be a sequel necessarily. I think that it's a good fad game. They'll build.
They'll just keep
bunch
adding
of extra
to
stuff
this.
to it. If they ever made a second one, I'd be absolutely stunned.
I wouldn't. I don't know about a sequel unless because I don't know what this is built on. But if this moves to Unreal 5 or something, then
it barely works as it is. Put it on Unreal 5.
But that's what I mean. I don't know what the engine. I'm pretty sure it says at the beginning when you boot it up. But whatever the engine for this is, I don't think will sustain years and years and years and years and years of improvements.
Well, it's the same as an MMO, though, isn't it? Whatever they build the base game on, it can only ever be a slight variation of that.
Yeah.
You're not going to turn on Star Wars Online and it looks like Outlaws or it looks like Jedi Survivor because that would be an entirely new game.
Yeah.
You'd have to build the whole thing again from scratch, which would be, for a game that size, impossible, basically.
Yeah.
For the amount of for the player base there is and the amount of money going into it, you'd never justify it.
I just circling back to copyright stuff. I only realised yesterday when I saw it on Instagram that Marvel and DC had copyrighted the term superheroes, and it ran out yesterday or some present point in time, and that's the reason why the Incredibles they say soups.
That can't be true.
Yeah.
You're telling me that at no point has any film or any other entertainment thing ever said the word superhero?
That's not owned by them, according to the old news.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
I'm not making it up. I'm just saying the news that I saw.
No, I'm just saying that why would you copyright something like that or patent it or whatever it is that they've done with it, and then whenever someone's gone, oh my god, like a superhero, and they go, sue them, that's our thing. All they'd be doing all day is firing out cases.
Marvel, DC, superhero... copyright. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, they jointly owned trademarks for the term superhero and superheroes dating back decades. Reuters report the US Patent and Trademark Office recently cancelled many of their claims following a petition from comic producer Sugar Babies, which I've never heard of.
I have no idea who that is, no.
The oldest of which... USPTO records show was for the trademark superheroes registered in 1967. Two companies still co-own a superheroes trademark registered in 2018, as well as supervillain trademark they secured in 1985.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at no point ever since that has come into play that no other TV show or movie has ever said the word superhero. I don't believe it.
I assume a lot of it would be not necessarily it would be worth looking at comics like other publishers like Valiant and Dark Horse and stuff. What are their hero characters referred to as? Are they referred to as super? Because it might just be in comic books. Obviously, back in 1967, they weren't making fucking Batman and Spider-Man movies, was they?
No, of course not. I mean, no one gave a shit about it then. No. Anyway.
But it could just be down to the written word in a comic book form. Doesn't go into specifics. I'm not clicking through to find it. But yeah, I saw it and I was like, huh.
That's a very odd piece of news, yeah.
And it made me think more, particularly with like the old Palworld stuff and then the DC thing. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday and I had an advert come up for Vodafone, which is a telecom communication company in England. Dan used to work for them.
No, I work for a company that contracted out for them.
But it was for the new iPhone 16. And they're like, you can get the new Apple iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence. Like, that's what they're calling their AI, is Intelligence. How long do you reckon it's going to be before all these fucking Apple idiots think that AI means Apple Intelligence?
Again, it's just another win for the marketing team.
I mean, again, I hate iPhones. Well, no, I'm not a big fan of Apple, but their marketing is top class. It's amazing. They're real good. But that video we saw the other day where the Apple users were getting a free upgrade to a new iPhone and they just gave them their old iPhone back and they're like, it's so much faster.
People have no idea what they're doing.
No. And again, like, there's nothing inherently wrong with an iPhone, but it's... I'm not going to get into this debate again, but they're already behind the top end, like your Samsungs and Huawei and everything else. And I still stand by that's the only reason America got that ban on Huawei was because of this far better. And as soon as they became the market leader and they overtook Apple and Samsung as well, that's when they fucking binned them off. Now we don't get to get the fucking trifold phones over here.
Probably not. I mean, unless there's something that comes along later, or there's...
You can still use them. We just don't have access to Google services. So YouTube, Gmail, Google Maps, etc. You have to use the Huawei.
They're pretty integral, though.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I don't think I could not be baked into that ecosystem. Even Apple users will use a Google product, like Google. It's like just the search engine. A lot of people use Gmail for everything. Maps just seems like everyone's go-to. Even down to apps like Uber and Just Eat and stuff, they use the API for Google Maps. So you wouldn't even be able to install that.
Presumably it's the most accurate.
I would assume so. But because of that, it's like, well, I don't really want to spend fucking 1,800 quid or whatever it would be to get this tri-folding phone that I still need another phone to use alongside it. It just doesn't seem massively practical. But their phones are amazing. Like, hardware, software, everything's really good. And then Apple just go, it's got a button for the camera. And they're like, oh my God!
We've introduced a USB-C port.
I still love that I think it was the 15 was the first one to have USB-C, but they didn't give it the fast charge. So it's just it's charged slower than every other phone on the market. I was like, you dickhead. But
incredible work, everyone.
But I still think that's the reason they did that was because all the people that have had the Thunderbolt ports and that prior to that would go, so it was way better with the other one, put the other one back on. And
or why would I spend 800 quid on cables for linking all this shit together, and now you're telling me that I can't use that anymore?
Yeah. To be fair, I'm surprised there wasn't more of an uproar about that. It's fine for us.
It's the new thing, so therefore they go, cool, everything else goes in the bin then.
I still hate them for the fact. Samsung as well. But why take plugs out? Why don't you get a plug with a phone anymore?
Why do you just get a USB thing?
Yeah, you don't get the your block anymore. You haven't for ages.
With a Fold.
No, I haven't had one. Fucking hell. I didn't even get one with my work phone.
Because it's like one of the flat ones that's got like the extra pin that pops up.
Yeah,
so it
can
still like fit in the box. But yeah, I absolutely got one.
Yeah. So most don't.
If I'd have picked that up from the shop and opened it and then gone, how the fuck am I supposed to plug this in and charge it?
To the point, there's an advert like Xiaomi, which is a subsidiary of Huawei, but they still work over here. They have some nice phones as well. I saw an advert the other day, and it was free. Like, get this phone, I don't know, 58 quid a month or whatever it was on 3 Mobile, and get these free gifts. And it was like, earbuds, a case, and a charger. It's like, the charger should be a free fucking gift.
All of those should be included.
No, I mean, I don't think the earbuds should, because they're like 200 quid on their own.
Well, the earphones then.
Yeah, like the old ones used to go where you just plug it in. Yeah, you don't get, I mean, I don't think they make them anymore. But
Well, they've got USB-C headphones, absolutely they do. Wired ones.
I suppose, yeah.
Because all you do is you just plug that in, so you obviously can't charge it and whatever at the same time, but...
Unless it's got wireless charging.
Well, yeah, but then you need a wireless charger.
I have.
Yeah, but not everybody does that.
Not everybody has a plug.
Well, yeah.
Right, but like the reason was though, Apple's thing was it was for like sustainability, and because this was years ago, this happened, and then Samsung joined the trend, and then every fucker else did. But the reason was it was sustainability, and it's like you've got a power brick already, so just use that one because you had one with the old phone. But they all do it, and it'll be like, they know iPhone 16 or the Samsung S24 Ultra. It's got 65 watt charging capabilities, but we're not going to give you the brick. Yeah, but my brick only does 40. So now I've got to spend it. And when I got my S22 Ultra, that didn't come with a brick either. And that was the thing. Look how fast the charging is. Well, it's like 100 quid for the fucking plug. It was like 90 something pound. So I was like, nah, you're all right, thanks.
No. I'd rather risk getting a dodgy one from CEX that'll explode my fuse box.
Yeah, I'll get the one that comes with the Note 9.
For £6, yeah.
But it's just stupid things, and me included. People buy them, and that's why they continue to do this sort of stuff. And like, don't flaunt.
It's a privilege, aren't we? Aren't we so nice giving you a thing to charge the thing that's cost you 1,500 quid to buy?
You're lucky it came with a screen. But it's like, I mean, can you imagine if, I know they've merged it into the Fold now, well, yeah, technically the Fold as well. But like the S Ultra series is the new Note. Can you imagine if that didn't come with the S Pen? You had to buy that separate.
Well, what was I had the, not for a while, I got the S22 Ultra or S23 Ultra, whatever it was that I had before I got the Fold. I didn't have a pen.
No, you had the S22.
Yeah, it's S22 Plus or something.
Yeah, because I had
it's the one with the bigger screen. Yeah.
No, that's your middle one. Ultra's the big one. Like that's the Ultra, but it's again like the Note was. It's built into the actual phone.
That's the thing. Mine didn't.
So yours would have been the Plus then.
Potentially. It would have been about 2 years ago, so I can't remember.
But yeah, they basically went in. We're not making Notes anymore. You'll have S22, S22 Plus, which is the bigger one of the other one, and then Ultra was like the S and the Note smushed together. But yeah, if I bought that and then it went, oh yeah, it's an extra 50 quid if you want the pen. No.
What buying the phone for?
Yeah, that's the main reason I wanted it.
You want a camera? Well, the camera's extra. Like it's this sort of this bundling culture that companies seem to be adopting. Just like, oh, well, we'll give you the base thing, but then the thing that you're actually coming to us to buy, that'll be a separate thing. Or well, that was the subscription model, so you need to pay a little bit more for this, and then pay a little bit more for this. Oh, you want a case for it as well? Well, yeah, there's a little bit more for that as well. Yeah. And like it'll everything will just get separated out into a package that they will sell as, well, we're giving you complete flexibility. So, you can decide as to, you buy your base model, which is your phone, and then you can choose two of the accessories. So that's a plug, so you can charge it, or a screen protector, so you can,
look after it.
So, and then people are sort of like, oh, that's good. Well, then I can choose that, or I can, pay an extra £10, or I can choose from these three things instead. When it would be a case of, why isn't all of that together
in the box? Yeah,
the price that you're charging, and I understand that the technology is more advanced and there is a cost that comes with that, sure, but you're taking the piss. You are taking the piss.
Yeah, but that's like
when it's like 1,800 quid for a phone. That's a car. For some people, that's a deposit on a house. Yeah. For a phone that you're willing to throw away in 18 months because something else has come out. Ridiculous. Again, we're going through an economic crisis. The world is. And then technology is still at the forefront of the expense thing, and that people are willing to work themselves to the bone, potentially doing a shit job or multiple jobs just to be able to afford this for their family or for themselves. And it just upsets me.
It is, because some people like, and I was one of those people. Like, it would be the new X phone is out, I'll buy it and I would get it, and I'd always pay off my contract if I hadn't bought the previous one outright and I was on a contract, I'd pay it off so I could get the next one. And it's 80 quid a month. I fucking care. I'll do it. I can't remember when the S22 Ultra came out, but I've had this since the day it came out. I did buy it outright. Still got it because it still works. So I don't need to get another one. And I'm looking at, I do really like the Pixel 9 Pro. No, XL, sorry. But it's also like really expensive, and this still works. So I don't see the point in doing it. But like you say, that some people will go, yep, here's £2,000 for the new iPhone. But it's the same as the fucking one you've already got. And it's not like going from I've just bought this new PC. So this is my first PC. It's got a 2060 in there. And now I'm going to buy a 4090. That's a considerable jump in technology. But phone to phone, Samsung's included, phone to phone, it's not that big of an improvement. It's always better to get the next one.
But that's why the contracts are as long as they are now. Is that it's 2 years, it's 3 years. Because by the time that has run out, the technology should have come along enough for you to be able to see a difference in the handset that you're getting. So you're almost justifying it. But like you say, if you're paying for it outright, you're buying it, a year later the better one is out, according to them the better one is out. And then you're left with the decision of, well, do I just sit on an old phone?
Yeah.
Or do I spend the same amount of money again just to get the slightly better one, the slightly newer one, or whatever? I don't know if people think that they need to justify it to themselves or to their friends. I imagine like kids are a big thing with them. Yeah. That, you get, what do you mean you've only got the iPhone 15? Ugh.
Yeah. It's like, well, this is brand new, I got it yesterday. Yeah, but the 16 came out 12 hours ago.
Yeah. Like, if I were ever to have kids, they'd be like, you can have a pager. If I need to get hold of you, I'll beep you, and you can go and borrow someone else's phone.
Smoke signals.
Like, I'm not spending that much on it. It's like saying, he's buying a kid's shoes, a baby's shoes, for like 600 quid for some, Dolce & Gabbana, whatever. And then 3 weeks later, they don't fit anymore.
Yeah. That's something I've always done with clothes and shoes particularly, is like, now Logan he's got a pair of kickers for school, and they're quite expensive for kids shoes, like 40 something quid, but his feet aren't growing as fast as they was when he was younger. Like, and it got to the point where I remember Zoe went to Clark, she spent loads of fucking money on a pair of shoes. I went absolutely ballistic. Like, we're going to end up buying him a pair from Primark in like a month because they're not going to fit him, and that's what we just did. Whereas now, like, he likes his Nikes, so he gets a pair of Nikes for Christmas and birthdays and stuff. Because again, they're fucking expensive, but you can have them because they'll last him a little bit longer. But you'll see kids walking around with, like, Zoe's sister bought Logan some Converse when he was a baby.
Yeah.
And there was a really nice presentation box and everything else, and we've still got them. I was like, you're going to fit him for like a week. If that. But people will spend the money.
Just frame them and just keep them as a family heirloom?
That's what I mean. They're in his box, and like we kept the presentation box they came in, because it's not like a shoe box, it's like this presentation thing. We just put them back in, and they're just in the loft with all his baby stuff. But not a lot else we could do. Might give them to Beckett.
Should fit in one of them, maybe.
But I just don't see the point in spending that kind of silly money on kids, especially. But you will have your 12 to 13 and up kids going, I need the new iPhone. I need this because that person at school's got it and that person at school's got it. And it just seems a bit daft.
I'm going to, just literally off the back of that, I'm just gonna Google this very quickly just to make sure that it's what I'm thinking of, because I don't want to say something and be a silly boy, Callum.
We never want that.
No. Yeah, it is. Okay, so one of my team was talking to me yesterday, and they said, right, my mum has just come back from Milan, and while they were there was a Dolce & Gabbana. That's why that name popped into my head, because of this. And I was like, oh my god, I've got to tell you about this. There was almost like a pop-up store. So like, if you go through a train station, there's like some companies that are like giving away energy drinks or whatever to just sort of like, I think they did it with Prime. They've done it with Belvita and stuff like that in Manchester all the time. There's always usually someone in there saying like, oh, here's some oats, here's whatever, because it's free product they're giving away, but it's hitting a huge number of people.
I do like that you went from Dolce & Gabbana to oats.
Well, that's what I picture when
I know,
these kind of like little stalls that just show up somewhere. So they were going around. They were in Milan. They don't speak the language, and I assumed that there wasn't any signs or whatever in English as well. But it was obviously the brand, and that they make sort of like perfume and clothes and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they were selling these boxes, like sort of small boxes, with of perfume or fragrance or whatever it is. And it was 30 quid a box. So they were like, oh, do you know what? That's not a bad deal, that. Some like, presumably like sample sizes or whatever, because the boxes are sort of yay big. So they bought one of those. And I don't know whether it was when they got back to the hotel or they got back home or whatever. And when they opened it, it was a pack of 4 highlighters.
That's amazing.
Now, that's not as a scam, because that's what I thought she meant, that they just bought a box and went, oh, that feels about right, sure.
Oh.
There's a deal with a stationery company called Stabilo, I think it is. And this is a set that they're selling that had like 4 highlighters, a notepad, and something else. And that was it, and that was 30 quid. And she literally brought it in today to show us, because I was just like, when she started telling us, I was like, I have to see these. And the colours, yellow, light blue, brown, and black.
A black and brown highlighter?
Yeah, and do you know what they highlight, Callum? Fuck all. It looks terrible. Like, because I tried every one of them out. The yellow is just a standard yellow highlight, but you can get them for 30p from Staples or whatever. The blue is blue, sure. But I know for a fact we've got blue highlighters at the office that are better quality, because it was just so weak. It was like it'd been watered down. It's like a watercolour almost. The brown is just shit coloured brown. It's like weak, runny poo brown. And the black is just black, but not like a redacting pen, like heavy black. Oh my god, no light can ever penetrate this. It's just highlighting it in black. So as long as you look at it in the right way,
you can still read it.
See. Yeah, which means that it's not a security thing. And if you're highlighting anything, you're covering it up. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And they were charging 30 quid for the privilege. And that is my point about branding, is that you can just stick a name on something.
Yeah.
And without even questioning it, without even opening it, people just go, that's what that must be, because this is what they sell. And I'll buy it. Yeah, sure, 30 quid. What a great deal.
Yeah.
Without even going, can I have a look? Because there could be literally nothing in that, as far as I'm concerned.
Could be.
And as we can't communicate or whatever, maybe that's a good idea. But instead, they just went, cool, that must be what that is. Took it home, opened it, highlighters, what the fuck?
Dolce & Gabbana highlighters, though.
I couldn't believe it. And then when she literally brought them in today, and I was just like, God, they feel fine. Like, they feel but like, don't feel any better or worse than a normal highlighter. Yeah, and they do a worse job than a highlighter.
I don't think I've ever used a highlighter and gone, man, I wish someone made some real premium highlighters.
But that's the thing. If it was an incredible highlighter, I'd be like, fucking hell, it's a highlighter and that's way too much. But that's a good highlighter. They are terrible. Like the yellow one, again, I'm sure it's just whatever they have in a standard cheap yellow highlighter. It's exactly what that is. If you just sort of, you put it across the page and it said D and G, G and D, G and D, D and G, all the way across, sort of like through some crazy expensive magic.
Like a special nib or something.
I'd get it. They're just shit highlighters that they slapped a label on. 30 quid everyone, and everyone's gone, yes please, 2.
I got myself some like Paper Mate, I think it is the brand name ones.
Yeah, I know Paper Mate, yeah.
And they're highlighters, but they're not like the square ones, they're like proper pen ones. And I think that was like £2 for the set.
Yeah.
And that's like blue, green, pink, whatever colours. Nah, real good.
Yeah.
Could do the job. Can't complain. But I don't think I'd pay more than £2 for a set of highlighters anywhere in the world, no matter what was on it.
No, absolutely not. Like, I don't know what office you'd be working in where that would be a requirement. You need to get looked down on the type of highlighters you're using.
Get out of here.
Get fucking Ryman's highlighters as you open up your Lamborghini Biros or whatever.
But again, you can buy a phone. Like there's loads of phones out in the world. You go on YouTube, have a look, and there will be like Ferrari, this phone Ferrari edition. But it's not. It's not like the brand new iPhone 16, the brand new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra Ferrari edition. It's this phone from 17 years ago. Like, they're really bad phones, but they're like $4,000.
Yeah.
It's like, but again, people will buy them because of that branding. It's like, even if I had that kind of money to just spend willy nilly, no fucking chance. I'd buy 12 boxes of highlighters before I bought that phone.
Honestly.
Have you ever spent more than you'd like to on something because of a name?
Yes. I bought, and you know this because I sent you a picture of it the other day. I bought one of the limited edition. I need to say this for the record as well, because somewhere in the history of the universe, someone will look back on this video and go, "What the fuck were you on about?" On Monday, I believe it was, and I was just in Sainsbury's getting a bit of breakfast for work. There was a limited edition Oreo flavoured Coke Zero, and I was like, "That has to be a joke." Like, but it was £1.50, and it was only like, well, it wasn't one of the 330ml cans. It was like one of the sort of slim ones,
like a Red Bull can.
Kind of, yeah. So I bought it. It was expensive, but I was just like, I have to buy it because I have to try it, because there's no way that combination is good. Like, I can't think. So if it was like Cravendale, like that's a milk brand, by the way. But it's a very good milk brand. It's quite expensive, but it's sort of like filtered or whatever. And it is quite nice.
Yeah, good milk.
If they did a Oreo flavoured Cravendale, I'd be like, Oreos and milk. That's a good combo. It's a good milk. I'd like, I'm a big fan of the sort of like the biscuit flavoured brews. Like a Yorkshire tea that tastes like malted milks or whatever. Banging, really good. The taste is just exactly what you think it is. That would be a good crossover. I can't think of anything worse than having a mouthful of Oreos and then washing that down with a nice Coke Zero. That whole mess that be going on in there, I can't think of just sort of like just grittiness of it. And took it to work and took it out, and I was like, I need everyone's opinion on this. And everyone was like, disgusting. And I was just like, does anyone want to try it? They were all like, absolutely not. And I drank that whole can like over the course of like an hour or whatever while I was working. And it got progressively awful. Like, it literally tastes like, the first sip, I was just like, it just tastes like Coke Zero. And then it's sort of, the further you get down, it's almost like it's settled, like there's residue in it. It's like
just
settled
bits of Oreo.
Exactly. And the further down I got, the more it just tasted like there was an Oreo that had just been dropped in it. And I was just sort of like, oh, this is not pleasant at all. Like, unless you drink it all in one big go and just sort of go, it tastes like a Coke Zero, but the aftertaste is Oreo. Sure, it's like an air freshener.
Yeah. That's
just been sort of sprayed into a car. You kind of get the after effect more than anything. And the thing that troubled me the most about it is that on the front of it says, like, there's it's like this black and white stripy thing. Again, the reason I say this is because there'll be like videos on YouTube now, and you're like, oh my god, look at all the crazy fucking, attempts at a new product that came out 20 years ago that everyone tried. This will be one of them.
And crisps in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do those all the time. But it was like a little red square. It's like this black and white, sort of like wavy lined can. And it's this little red square, which is the Coke Zero sort of like red square with a black squiggle going through it. And in that it said Creations. Now, to me, Callum, that sounds like that they are starting a new range where they are going to attempt to mix Coke or Coke Zero or Diet Coke or whatever it is with other things.
Coke and banana and Coke and...
but that's the thing. This is already so specific. I don't think it would be like Coke and rum, because I'm sure that they've already got like a time with Jack Daniels where they do that same thing.
Probably, yeah.
whiskey or whatever, or bourbon, should I say? Sorry, but I think it would be like Coke Zero, Greg sausage roll. I think it will be
maybe not quite that, but I see where you're going with it.
Just something that like because again, no one goes. I'll tell you what I'd love. I've got a proper craving for a Coke Zero and an Oreo, unless that's an American thing. I don't know, but absolutely those flavors and that texture just doesn't work together very well. So it makes me think that we're going to start to see a few more. I don't know if it'd just be biscuit themed or what, but
do you think it'll be like Walkers? So like Walkers, I think so. It's like you had like
they do it all the
chocolate
time.
And pepper and whatever it was.
Yeah, they did squirrel flavored crisps.
Yeah, like, but you had you had like 4 or 5 different flavors, potentially more. I don't know. And then the public voted on which ones would stay.
They're literally doing it at the moment.
But do you think that that's what they're going to do with this?
No, I don't think that it's sort of like a community kind of thing. You know, it's sort of like we put these flavours to the great British public. You know, what sort of Sunday lunch crisp do you want instead?
There is other ones, Dan. I'm on the Coca-Cola website.
So there is a creations range then.
So you got the top one is Oreo.
Go on, impress me.
This the old Oreo one. I just want to read the blurb for this. Introducing the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar Oreo Limited Edition, a delicious
wrong
duo that celebrates friendship with every sip. We're combining the best traits of Coca-Cola Zero and Oreo to help you find a new friend with all the flavour. Taste it while it lasts.
Did a ChatGPT? That's the one, sorry, yeah. Did that write that description? Because that's absolute fucking nonsense. It doesn't mean anything, any of those words. New friendship with every sip. What are you on about?
It celebrates friendship with every sip. And this would make sense if this was the aforementioned milk and Oreo drink.
That's because a classic
good combo.
Matchup.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't know. We get Oreos quite rare. I'm at the point now where I'm sick of Oreos because we get them that often.
I like them.
I used to love them, but I've just gone off them a little bit. But I've never been sat there, and then I've offered Zoe an Oreo, and she's gone, "Oh, thank you." Oh, have we got any Coke Zero?
Yeah, I want to wash that down.
Yeah, no one ever has done that with any kind of biscuit.
A glass of water over a Coke Zero.
I'd have a drink of water if milk wasn't available.
Agreed.
And I'd even go as far as getting some coffee mate and putting it in water and just making water milk before drinking a can of Coke with it.
Yeah, sure.
Coca-Cola K-Wave.
Ketamine?
Which is, it combines the classic Coca-Cola taste with an additional burst of fruit flavour and K-pop magic. So there's, I assume this is something to do with K-pop bands. Imagine the global appeal and universal excitement of your favourite K-pop band, all captured in the new Coca-Cola Creations drop. We're talking liquid innovation that translates in every language no matter where you are in the world.
Well, it doesn't translate into English because I don't understand the fucking word
I don't know what flavour it is. At least I know the other one's Oreo.
It's K-pop flavour, so it's 13-year-old sweat.
Gets better. Coca-Cola Happy Tears.
I thought you were going to say Haribo then. I was like, something sweet.
Happy Tears. This captures the taste of hashtag Happy Tears and the real magic of those joyful moments spent spreading kindness.
What flavour is it?
Say, limited stock, unlimited drops of joy, exclusively on the TikTok shop.
Oh, it's a TikTok thing.
That one is. I assume that's why it's hashtag Happy Tears. But that captures the taste of hashtag Happy Tears. What does the taste of a hashtag sound like?
What's
that taste like?
I don't understand.
This has got to be an AI-made webpage. It has to be. Oh, it's all right. We're picking it up now. Coca-Cola Y3000. Look into the year 3000 with Coca-Cola Y3000. The first limited edition Coke flavour from the future. Created to show us an optimistic version of what's to come, where humanity and technology are more connected than ever. For the first time, Coca-Cola Y3000 was co-created with artificial intelligence to help bring the flavour of tomorrow to Coke fans.
Yeah, if there's one thing that AI knows, it's how to taste.
How to taste. I think I have a zero sugar version as well of that one.
Well, what do you
do? Coke Zero Sugar Ultimate. Again, there's no flavours.
No, the Oreo one, you know what that should taste like.
This one is made in co-creation with Riot Games.
The guys who made fucking Valorant.
Yeah. Taste the recognisable Coca-Cola Zero taste and add the electrifying taste of Plus XP. I wish
it's like a 14-year-old wrote all this.
I wish I knew this was going to happen ahead of time, and I would have made some fake ones and then done the real ones in here. Yeah.
Wow, I'm even more. At least if it was just Mountain Dew flavoured Coke, it's, Chicago Town deep dish pizza flavoured Coke. Ridiculous tie-in, sure. Maybe more or less ridiculous than Oreo, whatever. But to go, this is a flavour. It's like the when they have like a Glade plug-in, or there's like an air freshener with a scent. It's like, bring back the mystical times of yore with new beach scented blah blah blah, and it's just like it smells like a beach. Sure, yeah. It's like it smells like salt. Sure, but the story, they're trying to the emotiveness of they're trying to craft around.
They're trying to make you imagine
singular
it.
Scent. But you still need to go, okay, but I recognise the smell, or, it goes, it's wonderful bergamot and, red wine, and it smells oaky and whatever, and you go, okay, well, I can read it, and I can therefore smell it, or I know, roughly speaking, what it's going to smell like when I get it home. With that, I would buy a tin of that going, I don't know what this tastes like.
What does XP taste like?
Success.
I mean, it does, but again, what does success taste like?
I don't know.
Like what?
Whatever Elon Musk spits out every night.
Dream World.
Callum, I'm done now.
There's so many, Dan. So many. Oh, there's a marshmallow one.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
No, it is marshmallow, but it's the artist. No, he's got the X's for eyes. Marshmallow Head. I think he's a DJ person.
Do you mean Buckethead, the guitarist?
No, not Buckethead.
Well, then how on earth am I supposed to know who it is?
But I'm assuming... Wait. Introducing Marshmallow Limited Edition Coca-Cola. The newest hit is a Coca-Cola creation sparkling beverage feature inspired by the world-renowned artist Marshmallow. For the first time ever, discover the unexpected flavour of his tracks. Strawberry and watermelon.
So it's strawberry and watermelon?
Yeah. Boys,
so it's got fuck all to do with that guy, and it doesn't even taste like marshmallow.
That's what I mean. Marshmallows don't taste of strawberry or watermelon, but it's the first one that's got flavour. Starlight.
Or at least you go, okay, well, I like strawberry and watermelon. That in a Coke. Sure, I'm sure that'd be quite nice, actually. I'd try that. Why has it got to go around this whole fucking spiel about it's tied in for the first time ever? Well, of course it's the first time ever. Otherwise there'd be a marshmallow range, wouldn't there?
Yeah. Obviously means it wasn't very nice. Last one, Dan. Coca-Cola Sugar Bite. BYTE. Inspired by gaming. No flavour.
Everything these days.
No flavour. Get it before it disappears back into the metaverse.
Oh, this is just such a fear of missing out, trend setting, Instagrammable, gotta get it.
New flavours is great though. It's a good idea, but do something like Coca-Cola Starburst. Like a nice fruity flavour. You could Skittles, fucking fruit pastels, Jaffa cakes, fuck it. Anything that, even the Oreo one, yeah, it's not very nice, but at least I can go, that's going to taste like Coke and Oreo.
Yeah, which it does. It's just not, it's not a good combination.
No, and
it is what it says on the tin. I can't knock that.
But these other ones...
But I can't, it's so subjective. You go, it's Dream World or whatever you said. You go, it doesn't taste like dreams to me.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
My dreams always taste like Twiglets.
Do you know what this is? This screams to me of people just sitting in a room, just going, if I can't say that I don't taste anything different, or I can't say that this is absolute nonsense because then am I the odd one out? Yeah. And it's just a bunch full of people in a room going, yeah, tasty, it's really good, yeah. Yeah, it does invoke happy memories and whatever. Yeah, you're right. It's like Kim Jong-un, like in a huge dictatorship, has come out and said, I've created a drink that tastes like happy memories. And everyone will drink it going, oh my God, it tastes like all my happy memories. Because they know if they go, tastes like shit, that mate, he's going to go into prison or get shot immediately. It feels like it's a creation list that's built on terror.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's been any... And the fact that prior to...
That's what their innovation budget is going on. Absolute nonsense.
Just paying him loads of money. But there's been no... That I've seen, there's been no marketing. The only marketing for this that I've seen is you sending me a photo and me going on the website.
Yeah,
that's the only marketing I've seen.
As I was walking through Sainsbury's, I just the design of the can, because it is very striking. It did catch my eye, but the reason that I bought it wasn't because I have to try this. It was like, that's going to be awful.
Yeah.
Buy it. If it's limited edition, because it'll be terrible and everyone will hate it and they won't sell it anymore, this is my only chance to try it and go, gross.
What we need to do, Dan...
No, we're not buying any of them, Callum.
No, this is not. It's buy Coke Zero. Just Coke Zero. And buy an Oreo. And see if it is the same.
I reckon if you whisked it, it would be pretty much identical. You ground it down to an absolute fine paste. Like absolute dust, and then sprinkled it in and mixed it through.
I've got a proper blender. Like for making smoothies and stuff.
Yeah, so have I.
We'll do that.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's literally all they did, or just whatever the flavouring of the biscuit thing, or whatever the flavouring of the cream bit is, and they just drop a few bits of that in and go, cool, now it tastes like it.
Because
they Frazzles flavoured one, and we'll talk. Even
that though, Dan, like I could eat some Frazzles and drink some Coke Zero, but not at the same time.
No, you're not going to put them in your mouth and go... No. Delicious.
It's got to be something that they have to complement, like lime. I know there's already Coke lime.
You don't go to a restaurant and go, I'll have the strawberry chicken souffle, please. You go, oh no, that would be terrible. You don't go, oh, I'll have the whiskey sour cheesecake. You're like, oh no, I don't want those two things mixed together.
I can't remember what we made. It was when you were here.
Bean sorbet.
I mean, that could be all right. There's no real taste of runner beans, is there?
Yes, there is. There's plenty.
Not like a fucking Frazzle.
You can't compare a runner bean grown in someone's garden to literally a little rectangle of chemicals and flour, and that's all it is.
I remember, what did you make me at my house? It was like, not enchiladas. Fajitas. But we hadn't got something, so we used this garlic sauce instead. There's like a...
No. I tell you exactly what it was. I bought the wrong one. I thought it was the one that usually comes with like a mix. Like it's like a seasoning mix that you add onto the meat. Whereas the one that we bought was like a sour cream dip. So instead of that going in with the fajita stuff, that's an aside.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a side that you would mix with like sour cream or something like that, and it's like a nice garlicky dip. Now, either I didn't realise it when I added it on, or I just thought I'll take a punt on it, and it did not work.
But the first few bites were really nice. I mean, we still ate it.
I know, yeah, but it's because we're hungry at that point. But it was a different kit, because I've made the same mistake again and gone, oh no, this is the one that I shouldn't have bought, and I've just had to just have fajitas without any seasoning on, which is still all right. It certainly tastes better than covering it in a powder that definitely didn't deserve to be in there.
So I'd never had it before, and then I ate it, and it was okay. But then after the first, I think we had like 2 each, I think.
Yeah.
But, and then after that, you're
like that sort of like residual floury powder that's just sort of not for me. That.
But that's still something that taste-wise, those are two things that do go together. Just not in the way that we did it.
Yeah.
But like I say, like, no fucker sitting there with an Oreo and a can of fucking a glass of Coke and dunking it in. And the only combinations you should be doing with that is...
It shouldn't be called like Coke creations, it should be called Coke Trends.
Yeah. Hashtag
because
trends.
It's just whatever's popular at the moment. They're trying to envisage, a vibe. They're trying to make an emotion in a can.
Yeah.
Which is nonsense because people aren't coming to you for good feelings and therapy. They're coming to you for sugar and chemicals.
Diabetes.
That's what they're coming to you for. And all you need to do is you need to capitalise on that. And you go, barbecue rib flavoured Coke. And people go, love it, I'm into that.
Might actually taste all right. Because that's the same kind of thing, though, as your, like the chocolate and pepper. Like, I didn't personally like it, but a lot of people did. And it's not my sort of thing. But it's the same kind of kicks where Coke and barbecue probably might taste okay together.
But like Coke has been used as a glaze and stuff like that.
That's
like
what I mean. You can put it on
stuff,
hams and stuff. So
you do it the other way. Instead of using it as a seasoning, you use the other thing as a flavouring.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I'd be more inclined to think that would work than biscuits.
Coke and pot noodle. Instead of Worcester sauce,
instead of water, it's just Diet Coke that you just pour in and just put it on the stove.
Might taste all right. Might make me eat a pot noodle.
Absolutely not. I'll have a chicken korma one though. Chicken korma zero.
Chicken and you can make a thingy.
And then you do a naan bread one as a separate one. So you take a sip of one and a sip of the other.
Well, full. I couldn't eat anymore.
But I was thinking, I'll tell you what would be a good idea with you mentioning Starburst. Skittles, I mentioned, or like fruit pastels, which I think is a good one. But instead of doing a fruit pastels, Coke or Coke Zero or whatever, you do a red fruit pastel. You do a green fruit pastel. You do a black one. You do the yellow one. And then you get people coming in to buy the range. So people were coming in to buy all six flavours or whatever.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant in a packet of fruit pastels, and then there's a Coke Zero fruit pastel.
No.
But you meant a can. Red can, so green can. You get it.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, the same with Skittles. The same with M&Ms, maybe. You try and maximise on what you're crossing over with.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that way you can make more. And if, again, it's a sort of like a trend thing, then, well, people are coming in to buy the whole range. The same way that they do with Prime. There's a new Prime or whatever. You just get a different... Like, you go, okay, well, now it's the Skittles one. And now these the sour Skittles ones. Yeah. And people come back and buy all of them as well. That makes way more sense than it's
people would buy
joyful
them.
Memories or... your nan's funeral in a can.
It tastes like ashes.
It's like, yes, nailed it.
Have you ever tried a Prime?
No. On principle, no.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason I haven't. I refuse to buy one. Before we go, though, Dan, obviously we didn't do a podcast last week, but Sony had their State of Play event where they showcased a load of upcoming games. So I'm just going to run through a couple of my favourite ones. Astrobot, free DLC.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the new Astrobot, because I was going to say I've seen quite a few bits of gameplay.
Yeah, it's already out, that is. It's been out for a few weeks, but there's already some new DLC.
Banging.
Looks real good. The Midnight Walk, which is a claymation style game where you appear to be playing as a little guy with a flame in his head, exploring like a spooky world. Looks pretty good. Hell Is Us, which looks really cool. And it's like a horror game, but it looks like it's got like Dark Souls style combat.
Okay.
So it's an interesting one, but I think it'd be one that...
I can't think of anything better than being frustrated and terrified at the same time.
To be fair, the demo that they showed, it doesn't look as frustrating. It just looks similar combat. But we'll see when we play it. Yeah. Metro Awakening VR.
There's a Metro VR game.
And I really like the look of it. At the minute, and I haven't looked into this further, but at the end of the video at the PlayStation show, it just said PSVR 2. Didn't say anything about MetaQuest or...
I'd imagine it might be an exclusivity thing, but Metro's on every platform.
Exactly.
So I can't imagine why they're limited to one.
Yeah.
Unless they've only developed it for one, I suppose.
Maybe. Archage Chronicles, just looks like a standard RPG thing. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which is released this month. Dan.
Yeah, that's been advertised for a while. It looks pretty good. I'm
Showed
hoping if we're very lucky, we might get that on Game Pass.
I don't know. Mainly for the fact that they showed it at
That doesn't
State
mean
of Play.
anything.
No, that just makes me think that it is just going to be multi-platform straight from the off. So we won't see it on Game Pass for a bit. But they showed off the character creator thing. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, the whole thing looks like I've never really been the biggest of fans of the Dragon Age franchise, but this is the one where I'm just sort of like, it looks alright. Huh? Again, that shows up on Game Pass. Yeah, I'd absolutely.
Yeah.
Crack.
Alan Wake 2 DLC, The Lake House, Hitman: World of Assassination, VR, again PSVR 2. But I'd really quite like to play a Hitman VR game. I think it'd be quite good.
I imagine it's just like Sniper Scope.
I don't know. Now you're walking around doing stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, that's far more interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
You can like set traps up and whatnot. Looks pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, good.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster.
That's also on PC. I did see that the other day because I was having a little look at it.
I'm annoyed it's not a remake, but
well, it's the Soul Reavers, not the Legacy of Kain games. Because if it was Legacy of Kain, I would probably buy that because I fucking adored Legacy of Kain.
I thought that's what it was. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. I thought
no, that's what this is. But no, it was Legacy of Kain. What was the one I absolutely loved as a kid? Oh shit! Hold on, I'm gonna have to find it for you now.
Legacy of Kain. Blood Omen.
Series of blah blah blah. Yes, it might be Blood Omen.
Yeah.
Blood Omen: Legacy of Kain. Is it that one? No.
That's the first one. Very first one.
It was with because it was you were Kain, like you would go around like sucking people's blood and stuff like that.
Legacy of Kain Defiance?
Maybe.
Because I only really remember like Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver 2. They're the only ones I really remember.
Blood Omen 2, that's the one.
That's the one with the white hair in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was the one, yeah, because I played a bunch of this. Yeah, because you could like drain people on the fly.
Yeah.
But after you kill them, you could just like suck the blood out of their body. I loved it.
See, I always remembered the first one. Look, is it Azrael? Something like that. Raziriel. I can't remember.
Shoot, I don't know.
The guy with the scarf.
Yeah, but I've never played those ones.
Oh,
2 was the only one I played, yeah.
I played both the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver ones because they were had them on PS1. And then I think I played Blood Omen 2 on PC. I think. Could be wrong. But yeah, got them. Fear the Spotlight, which is another horror game. Towers of a Geisha. I don't know how you say it. But it's like a village builder RPG creature thing. Looks quite cool.
You sold it to me.
Yeah, it's your kind of game. I'd say you'd quite like it.
Okay, sure.
What else? Dynasty Warriors Origins. You a big fan of Dynasty Warriors?
No.
No. Monster Hunter Wilds.
I played Hunter for a bit. No, what was the one that was on Game
The
Pass?
latest one. I can't remember what it's called.
Rise, maybe?
Can't remember. One where you have the little cat friend.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Monster Hunter Rise, yeah. So I did play that for a while. But again, it's the same sort of like do a 400 million thing combo on someone and maybe you chip off 3% of the health.
It's a good game.
There's just a lot of grindiness to it that I'm not a fan of. I get why people are a fan of it, but
Yeah.
it's just not my cup of tea.
Horizon Zero Dawn Remaster.
Yeah, that I've seen.
Um,
A game that's like 10 years old doesn't need a remaster.
Not even 10 years.
It was PS3, wasn't it?
4.
That's even worse then.
And then the second one was...
And plus the PC one looks incredible. The remake, ridiculous. I know about it anyway, so carry on.
The only good thing is, if you own the original, which I do, you can get it. It's only £10.
Oh, so I'm still going to pay for a game that looks great anyway.
I'd much prefer to go, if you got the original, it's just a free update.
Absolutely.
But no. But that does lead into Lego Horizon Zero Dawn Full game.
Now, that I'm okay with.
Looks real good. Does
But
look good.
when it's like, cause I think it's because like things like the DC and the Marvel ones have, the Star Wars ones certainly have ruined it, because it's like we've got like 500 characters that you can choose from, and like all these different films. That's based on one game, and there's like 30 characters in it. So you're just redoing the game in Lego.
Looks good though. I'll give it that. And the last thing, we're getting a Ghosts of Tsushima follow-up, Dan. Ghosts of Yatai. And it looks fucking amazing. Really can't wait.
I still haven't bought Tsushima yet. I was literally looking at this the other weekend, and I ended up buying Kirby: The Forgotten Lands instead.
I would have bought Ghosts 100%.
You're wrong.
No. As somebody that's owned and played both, Ghost is a lot better.
Well, I can't commit the time to it at the moment because there's still a bunch of other stuff, and I started playing Valhalla again the other day. Fucking hell, I forgot how good.
I haven't finished Valhalla.
Yeah, it is genuinely really good. So I can't spend 38 quid and get Tsushima when I'm just sort of like, I'm not going to touch it. Again, I've got Outlaws. I barely scratched the surface with that. I need to spend some more time on that.
I haven't played. The last time we talked about Outlaws was the last time I played it.
Yeah.
And
I was literally playing it yesterday. I'm just watching. This seems to be what I'm doing at the moment. I'm watching Dragon's Den clips on this screen, playing Outlaws on this screen.
Dragon's Den clips.
It's the Coke Zero Oreo equivalent of what a weird mix-up of shit this is. I've got them talking about revenue and turnover here, and blasters and weird alien Canto Bite shit on this
Get
one.
him, NYXI. You're fired. No, you're fired. That's The Apprentice.
I'm out.
I've been watching. Well, I've started Penguin. It's very good.
Penguin. Oh,
Colin
the
Farrell,
HBO.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Is it
fucking
good?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
I haven't started that yet.
Well, I watched the first one, and the first one had already been out like a week or so. And I was like, this is so good. I've got to watch the next one because obviously it's been a week or so. No, it wasn't out yet.
Well, it was like a 2-week gap or something.
Yeah, it's something. There was a reason for it, but it's available now, so I'll watch it the weekend. But real fucking good. Really, really good.
Well, because I haven't watched any of Agatha yet, so I'm letting that build up.
Is good.
And then I'll do the same with Penguin.
Penguin's better than Agatha, 100%. But
I don't doubt that.
Agatha's a good... Not return to form, but a good return to good watching. Yeah. I haven't watched this week's yet, because that was today, I believe. But again, I'll probably watch it at the weekend or something.
Well, we may do a series roundup then when I've actually got around to
it. Once we both finished it, let's do a like you say, like an overall series review.
Yeah.
But I like it. It is quite good. I do like it. I'm enjoying that. But the new Australian Office, Dan, you gonna be viewing?
I don't know. I like the idea of it. Just they've not really. They're not trying to go, well, we're just trying to ape The Office, and it's just another version of The Office. They've just said, we've made a sitcom, and it just is called The Office, and it's in an office, but it's just a comedy. Like, it's not supposed to be, oh, maybe, oh, God, yeah, I know a guy just like that. This very much seems like it's comedy characters all doing silly things together. But I can't imagine that the Australians didn't, like, because obviously in Office Hype, when they were doing, after they sort of started doing the American Office, every country had their own version of it.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that Australia didn't do one at the time. Why, 20 years after it was sort of huge, would you then go, I know what we need? Our version of The Office. Why wouldn't you do it at the time? I
can only assume it's because British and Australian humour is very similar.
It does translate very well.
And this is, and I think this is another reason why it's so far removed from the British version and the American version as well for most parts. It's because, well, if we just do our version, it's just going to be the British version. I don't think it looks good, I'll be totally honest. And
again, it's not as if you can sort of go, oh, okay, well, Jim is Tim and Pam is Dawn, and I can kind of see all of that. I know who the Dwight is, I can tell you that. It's the person who looks moody as fuck wearing glasses.
And we know who the boss is going to be.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm kind of more interested to see her as like what is this? Because you've got every other David Brent, Steve Carell, every other David Brent character. You've got all of them to compete with. Has there been a female one? I don't know.
I mean, the closest one really is I can't remember her name. British comedian who was in The American Office.
What, Catherine Tate?
Yeah, when she takes over as manager for a little bit. That's the closest you've got, really.
Well, that was also for like 2 episodes before Andy came back and then kicked her out.
I mean, Andy's probably the closest to a female buzz.
That's fair. Yeah. I'll watch it for almost morbid curiosity. I think it could just be, if it's funny, I think it's funny because it's just funny jokes and funny scenarios, not because, oh my god, this is just such a good retelling of the original Office.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a funny show.
There is from what I saw yesterday, that I didn't know, there is a The Office spin-off called The Paper. And I don't know what it is, but it's in the works.
Boo. Is all I can say.
There's people attached to it.
I bet they fucking are. They've been talking about this for ages. Though, like they're going to do like a Dwight spin-off, and or not
I think they should
something that was set in the world of Dunder Mifflin. That like there'd be the odd sort of like person or thing crossover for no reason.
Dom Hanol. Oh, Thingy from Star Wars. It's in the new films.
Thingy.
Hooks.
Callum.
Hooks.
Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah, he's in it. And Sabrina.
In the Australian Office?
No, The Paper.
Oh, right, okay.
Sabrina Impactor. Don't know who she is. Melvin Gregg. We don't know who he is. Chelsea Frey. Ramona Young.
No. Other than Domhnall Gleeson, I don't recognise any of them.
But he is a good actor, though. But this is also being produced by Greg Daniels, Michael Cohen, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Howard Klein, and Ben Silverman.
Okay, I mean, that's a pretty solid team.
Do you think any of them have been involved with the Australian one?
No. I think the only involvement they may have is that they watch it.
I'm not looking forward to it.
No. I'll certainly try it, but
I'll watch a couple of them. I'd like to be proven wrong, but
yeah, they're particularly high at this point.
I've got a lot. Oh, I started watching Terminator Zero.
It's good.
Finally, it's very good. It's very good. I've only watched the first few, but
yeah. Honestly, it builds. It does keep on building. I haven't finished it, so I don't know if it ends particularly well. I think I've only got 1 or 2 left. To be fair, I genuinely haven't had time to find time to watch it. But yeah, I think the only reason I stopped is because it was late. Because I was just plowing through all of them.
Well, we were doing a video, wasn't we? When could have been a podcast, I believe.
Yeah, it was a podcast when you said, "Oh, it's out now," and I was like, "Okay, well, I'm watching that." Then.
End the podcast. I'm going.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've watched 4. I think. Started it a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it's very good. I really like it. Very good animation.
Very.
The style of the whole thing's very cool. Just seems to be.
I like the fact that it's not about the Terminator.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not just they got, we need a new Arnie character that, just the camera can follow him around doing Terminator stuff. He just keeps on showing up. He's wandering around and he kills everybody. There's nobody safe. I just don't understand how time travel works, that you can stop the future from happening by changing something in the past, but you can go ahead and kill 600 people and that won't change anything. That's all. Don't even worry about it. Because they were all, killed in Judgment Day anyway, maybe?
I mean, there's probably some kind of explanation to it, but it's
the premise of the thing is, though, is that you go back in time, you kill Sarah Connor, you stop John Connor from being born, bang, no resistance. So, presumably, any of the people that you killed could have also had descendants that survived Judgment Day, that could have been, or someone who went on to build a key component of Skynet or something like that. You go back and kill them. Surely that would undo all the damage that you've done, like what you were trying to achieve in the first place.
Well, yeah, because if it wasn't the Connors, somebody else would do it.
Well, that's exactly what Dark Fate is.
Yeah.
That John Connor was killed, so someone else was the leader of the Resistance
And
instead.
that'll always happen.
Presumably, which is why the Time War itself is infinite.
Yeah. Which I suppose is probably one of the poetic things of the whole...
Well, I reckon that's what they keep on doing. They just keep on doing what they did in Dark Fate. So they go, Danny, she's the leader of Resistance because John Connor was killed by a successful Terminator. Like, one of them actually completed their mission for once. And then didn't know what the fuck to do with himself, so became a painter or whatever he did. And then you have a new film with Danny, and then you send someone back in time to kill her that's successful, which means that you still have... So instead of it being Skynet, instead of it being Legion, you have got a new thing. And then there's a new Resistance leader.
Yeah.
Like, you could just keep plugging the same story, and that's how you can make... It's like a time loop of just... The Time War will always happen. Judgment Day will always happen. The war will always happen. The Resistance will always happen. Like, they have to happen. And they keep just going back and trying to fix... It's like that Rick and Morty episode where they just keep on going back in time.
Effectively,
snakes.
with the snakes and stuff.
Yeah, you just keep on doing that. That's how you keep making those films good.
One critique I do have in episode 1, when they're on the bridge, and she's... I can't remember exactly what happens, but she ends up holding onto the bridge, and he falls, and then he grabs her ankle, and then she stabs him in the eye with the special device thing.
Yeah, shut off virus thing, whatever.
But when he's got hold of her, would that now just broke her fucking ankle when he grabbed her?
That's pretty much what the Terminator did to Sarah Connor.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Yeah,
he grabs her ankle and basically crushes it, doesn't he? And plus the weight of these things, they're supposed to weigh like a ton each or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you see, like, even there's a similar thingy in the dreaded X-Men Origins Wolverine, but when he sits on the motorbike when he's in the barn after he's ran away and he's got all the adamantium in, and he sits on the bike, and obviously the bike just goes dong dong dong. But it never happens again in any other part of the timeline.
Yeah. Well, again, they've done it in Terminator 3, I think it was, when Arnie's been like kicked through a bus or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's some firefighters or whatever it is, they're trying to get him out and go, God, fucking hell, this guy weighs a ton. And yet you've seen him be pushed around to like bounce off things and not slammed into them all.
Which I get, like, especially at the time for the Terminator films where they probably didn't have the budget to do the...
Well, they didn't think about it.
Yeah, I mean, they also might not have thought about it. But yeah, like, especially when he's falling at speed, but given the weight of the Terminator as well.
Yeah, he should have just ripped her foot off, basically.
Yeah. If not her leg, then her foot. Like,
yeah.
But it wouldn't. And there was enough there where she could keep kicking him with her other foot.
Also, again, it's like trying to kick a car off you.
That's what I mean.
Like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
She should have been crying in pain because her foot's fucking crushed.
Yeah.
And then her other foot at most should be just fucking flailing at most. But she was proper whacking him. And I was like, I like that. But it wasn't enough to put me off, but it was something I noticed. And the dad's a right knob.
Oh, yeah, the Miles Dyson fella.
Yeah. He doesn't seem very likeable.
But I assume that's the point.
I
He's
think
supposed to be the 80s distant dad who then learns his lesson and comes back. Turbo Man. work, and then you realise, oh my god, it's Christmas and I haven't spent enough time with my kid and my kid hates me.
So do you think Terminator Zero is
Jingle All the Way?
Is Jingle All the Way?
Yeah. It's just the Jingle All the Way is the, like, universal version, so they cut out all the guns and the violence of the time travel.
Who's the neighbour then? Who's the haughty neighbour?
Ooh, good question. Probably the nurse. Like the nanny.
Nanny girl.
Yeah, she's Phil Hartman. Yeah.
I did get that vibe from her when she bought that pet cat thing. Well, she's just trying to get in his pants.
Yeah.
Anyway, Terminator Zero aside, I don't have anything else, Sunshine.
I don't know, until maybe there's Terminator Zero Oreo flavour.
Which could happen. Could be that.
One
Could
of
be
my
the
creations.
That could be the dream thing, which just tastes of blood because like metally.
Nuclear fallout.
See, that would be a good one. You don't know what the flavour is, but it's like bright green highlighters from Dolce & Gabbana mixed with Coke.
Yeah. And And then you go, well, it gave me cancer. And they go, well, yeah.
Creation.
Radioactive. That's the experience.
That's what the C stands for. Coca cancer.
That'll do.
Anyway, horrible things aside, if you want to see some more, you can go to podcastdisplayer.com and we've got some new reviews up. We've got some more Let's Plays and other such things. It's all going along the bottom of the screen. Dan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.